فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانِ إِلَى طَعَامِهِ. Then let the human being look carefully and stare at his food. Literally stare and look and observe his food carefully. Stare at the food on your plate and just think about it. Just stare at it. Why is Allah wanting you to stare at it? To remind you that you have responsibilities. كَلَّا لَمَّا يَقْضِ مَا أَمَرَهُ فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانِ إِلَى طَعَامِهِ. The human being did not fulfill. He did not fulfill the obligations due to him that Allah had commanded him with. Let him take a look at his own food. Now what does he mean by that? Look at the things Allah is going to mention now. By the way, ta'am in Arabic, as opposed to akl. Akl is any kind of food. Ta'am is food more particular for human beings. أَنَّا صَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا. So you're looking at this orange or this grape on your plate that you bought from the grocery store. Allah says He poured water down, abundant pouring. Sab is actually literally to take a bucket and pour it over somebody. Right? So Allah pours buckets of rain. Right? It's even in English expression, right? Allah pours heavy, heavy, heavy rain. That we pour rain, water upon water upon water. أَنَّا صَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا. It is we who send that water down. ثُمَّ شَقَقْنَا الْأَرْضَ شَقًّا. Shaq in Arabic is to cut open something or to rip open something that isn't, you don't think of cutting or ripping open certain things. When you cut those kinds of things open, then shaq is used. For example, in the Quran, Allah uses shaq for the sky. You don't think of cutting open with the sky. Allah uses inshiqaq for rocks. Because you don't think of cutting a rock open, right? Or the earth being cut open. And so these are grand things that you don't necessarily, you think paper, cloth, right? Or skin cutting open. These are the things you expect to cut open. But Allah says He cuts the earth open. He tears it open. يَوْمَ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانِ مَا سَعَى. Right? They'll be so involved in that task will have the effect يُغْنِيهِ. And this is again beautifully contrasting istaghna. Amma man istaghna in the beginning. Same root. Yughnihi. Yughnihi means something that is so important and it makes you so obsessed with what you're doing, it makes you forget and not worry about anything else. Some of you are programmers. You've got a deadline tomorrow and you've got like 20 pages of code to write. You're sitting there writing. Your child comes and says, "Look at my artwork. Dad, I drew this. You care?" Yeah, beautiful. The wife says dinner's ready. Yeah, okay. 4 hours go by, you didn't need dinner. Because you have ighna. Everything else you're not worried about right now. Everything becomes unimportant when this is important. Allah says on that day, people will be so engaged in an important matter that everything else will become unimportant. How is this a contrast from the beginning? In the beginning we saw the attitude of the kafir, who to him this message is unimportant, everything else is more important. That's why he has istighna, amma man istaghna. Subhanallah, on that day he will not have istighna. On that day, he will have something to deal with that will make him have ighna of everything. It will make ighna for everything else for him. It will make him unconcerned about everything else. وُجُوهٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ مُسْفِرَةٌ. Some faces, especially on that day, they will be lit up as though a smile was hiding inside a veil and it's been unveiled. Safara is actually in the Arabic language to unveil.